Forgive me, still getting the hang of this. Still getting the hang of it. Let me just check something. Okay, where is... Can I see that? Charia. You know what it is, right? When you don't use something for a bloody long time, right? This particular feature, you actually forget what you're doing. It's so annoying because you got to remember the little things that you know, but you got to go over it again. Just got to try and stay on track with this, with these apps, because if you don't, you will bloody forget a lot of things. Like, for example, how do I see the screen? It's just bothering me, I can't even see. Would I be able to see? Excuse me. Are you listening to me, Lisa? I don't even know what I'm doing, I forgot. How does the screen look? Let me check it. I am proper out of touch because this is audio. There's a different audio I could do, but I don't know if I like the way it looks on the screen. So this one, it like gives you full screen. Yeah, I've been fiddling around with a few things today, trying to work it out, but it will come back to me, man. It's quite funny when you forget stuff like that. You know what it was? I think it was something. I'm telling you, you gotta go to college to learn this shit. You might as well. Well, it's a lot of tutorial business. Like, it's a lot of trial and error. You have to be prepared to, like, what's the word? Fiddle about with things. It can get a little frustrating at times because sometimes you're just trying to do your thing, learn. It's like, yeah, it's literally like going to school again. The school of the internet. And it reminds me of school when sometimes you put your hands up and but there's no one to put your hands up to. You have to depend on yourself. And you're like, please sir or miss, can I have help? But the difference is on here, you can seek it, but you still have to find it out for yourself. Because I don't know, like when someone tells you how to do something, theory is different as practical, but even when you see it, like they're doing theory and practical at the same time, you still have to get the hang of it. Some things work better for other people quicker, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's a very technical game, this game. That's why sometimes I know some people will lack more than others because they're trying to learn the technical side more. Oh, when I fully figure out, yeah, well, when I think how I feel now, what I found out already, that's pretty good. I know, as a one-man show, I never really had nobody sitting there with me holding my hand saying, look, man, this is how you do this, and, this is how you do that. No, I never got no tips. Not that I'm complaining, because there's nothing to complain about, but I'm just saying, my entrance was serious, man. I was like just a viewer. So when you're just a viewer, you have all these, but the challenge was more greater, I would say, to find out. Like everything in life. I don't want to be one of those people like kept in the dark because I was lazy or I just wasn't up for it. I think this helped me. I suppose in one sense it's not good, and in another sense it's good because I suppose you don't realise you spend so much time learning. Time passes so fast. But because I'm really learning and I'm not rushing, it's different. If I was rushing and I wasn't learning, then I wouldn't be able to know all the experiences, like learn from them and realise what they meant and what they were about and what it all was. You know, there's probably people who say, fucking hell, man, just do it, man. Like, you know, don't even think about it. I used to think that, but I suppose in this game, in this life, on the internet, you can't, when you get to a certain position, like if you do your apprenticeship, you don't want to get there, and then by the time you got there, you still don't know this and you don't know that. So like the basic fundamentals of it, it's best to just sit there, trial and error, and just learn everything, man. Frustrating though, I'm not gonna lie. Because every time you think, God, if I got taught this, learn that. But I suppose, like you say, when you get there, you will think, yeah, this is much better than... Like, I do think sometimes, like, it'd be nice, like, when I think, oh, I did this, like, not all on my own, but more or less, and then I didn't have to, you know, rely on anybody. I didn't have to use anybody, become friends with people I didn't want to be friends with, just because I was trying to get my leg in there, or one foot in. Yeah, some people, they do that, and then in the end, it kind of, I don't know, it ruins their character, or who they say they are. But this way, I've just thrown myself in the deep end, made mistakes, learned, boom, 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 still going now. That's true, innit? Yeah. I think about that all the time. Sometimes life tests you as well. See what you're gonna do. See what choices you'll make. Are you worthy enough? Do you deserve everything you're gonna get, or you're getting and more? And some people don't understand that you have to be ready for your test every day, and when they come, you won't even know. But if you're smart enough, you'll know, and you'll just, you know. It's like being in a room full of money or gold or something. Most people will want to take something and won't get the experience of realising how strong they was to be in that room and walk out and not take anything. Because most people would say, there's so much here, I could just put a little bit in my pocket and no one won't notice. And something about being, I wouldn't say totally honest, but honest to a level, on a level, you know, like to yourself. Sometimes you do have to say, fuck people, man. Even though you need people in a way, do you really? Because sometimes I just believe if you come on the internet or even in life thinking, oh, I need, even though you need, it's not good to show you need. Because people will, it's like a weakness, man. I think anyway. I'm not a needy guy anyway. I don't really care. I've gone without many things, had things, lost things, got things, blah, blah, blah. People came, people went. I'm not really trying to hold on to much in life except for my life and what I got. And if people come and go, so it will be. Something, it's good to know you're the main man and you know that. You know that. Like, this shit won't work without me, kind of. So, I can't depend on anybody more than myself. And I wouldn't. Not at this point. When you're young and dumb, you think, oh, no, I can't go it. But as I say, I learned early. Might not travel loads of places on my own. Been to a few. But I know I went to loads of clubs and shit like that. I got my little confidence experience in my time, and that was enough for me. Because it's all overrated. Travelling, fucking clubs. Oh, man, right now I think everything. Like I said, woke up one day in the last 5 years and I asked myself, was all this shit real? I just came to conclusion, it was never fucking real. So sometimes when I think about the past, I think it was sweet, it was nice, but probably most of it was all fake and illusion. But like, maybe 20 years from now, what will people say about this shit? They'll probably say the same thing. So I'm just going to enjoy it. I enjoyed life while it was going. And when it's over, it's over. That's how I see it. Like, a lot of things, like, that's how I treat a lot of things. When it's over, it's over. You just don't know when it's going to be over. But you enjoy it while you have it. And whatever's going on, you just rock with it. When it's gone, it's gone. Best mentality to have. Because the hardest thing in life is maintenance. Maintaining might be your personality, your things, the things in your house, the way you carry yourself, your standards, money management, maintaining your standards of living, how you want to live. That's all I'm interested in. I don't really give a fuck about much else because, you know, family and all that, put that aside. But apart from that, that's my main thing in life. I'm just surviving and maintaining. And if I gain a bit, I gain a bit. But as long as I can do those 3 things, or 2-3 things there, I'm kind of a happy camper. Like, you know, I'm a happy guy. Like, can't really complain. Because it's good to want, but it's good to just sometimes, like, just not okay. It could be like, sometimes I look at things, I think, all the time, I think, shit, I'm not doing that bad. Sometimes you think you need this and you want that, and you do. And it's not that if it wasn't there, you know, you would take it, but it's like everything. I'm not gonna, like I've said, I'm not gonna break my neck for nothing. Best mentality to ever have. It's just like, I'm the type of person I always feel like, same way when I walk down the road, maybe I found a 10 or 20 pound or whatever I used to find. That's how I look at life. Take what comes. What I find is what I gather as I go. I'm not really too bothered about, oh, can I keep this? When can I get that? It'll come when it'll come. I mean, if I'd listened to all the people now, I'd have been in a nut house. Oh, you'll get there, Jay. You'll get there. You'll get there. Yeah, I believe it. You know, yeah. It's a good thing I've always more or less had that mentality. I know who I am and what I want to do and what I'm going to do when I get my opportunity, and I'm going to work towards it. But I'm not going to let nobody, like, gas me up and make me think I'm onto a winner. But then, when you break things down, you know how people fucking win. It's just fucking obvious. Like, people win a certain way. I mean, it's all like building blocks. And the same ones who say it, maybe they mean well, and maybe they don't. But nevertheless, it doesn't make a difference if they're not doing anything to help you get there. You got to just think, what am I doing to help make myself get there? And when I get there, I'm going to, you know, like everything in life, me as the man I am, I'm going to try and make full use of it. Even if it's just a little treacles, I'm going to make that shit stretch. I might have 10 fish and I'm going to make them into 100 or 20 or 30, because that's just the kind of man I am and the person I am. I'm not a wasteful person. Yeah, I've wasted a few things in my life, but I've learned about wastage. people wasting, time wasting, like all kind of wastage, like food, fucking everything, man. Energy, just you name it. I'm a reserver. I know how to fucking get the best out of shit, stretch my shit, like make things look bigger than what they are. Whatever you want to say, I can do it. I'm confident. I'm very confident in myself when it comes to surviving, working things out, puzzles, like life. I'm not. I haven't got any fear. I'm ready to walk this line. You know, every day's a challenge anyway. That's how I see it. Every bloody day, like you just keep. It's just, life's unfortunately like a game. Till you get out of the glitch matrix lifestyle, you'll always be in the game. So when people say they're not playing a game, it's going to be hard to not play a game when you're living literally in a game. Like that cartoon that used to come on. I used to watch it back in the days. It was called, what was it called? Captain Nintendo. It was a fascinating cartoon. They never really put it back on TV, but it was really fucking funny how it's the first cartoon I ever saw like that, because I was really a cartoon and, as you know, toy, film, music, whatever type of fanatic. Like I was, probably still am obsessed with those things to a point, but I've got more, I know how to control those things now. When I was younger, I'm still proud to say I was a couch potato, a mojo, you know, Jabba Hut, whatever. I just wanted all, give me, you know, I was like the type of guy or boy, I just wanted, I knew, I don't know how I knew cartoons and fucking, and films were like books, but at the same time, the book is still better because you get to have an imagination, and so they just help you like more get the information. It's a bit like the internet now. You could read the book, but because sometimes you just want to get something quick, you get the download on the video or whatever. But that's the same thing we did back then. We just didn't know what we was doing. Well, someone like me, I was consuming a lot of different things at once, and that was good. Little did I know that shit would come in handy, like watching the old cartoons, you know, the black and white movies, all that stuff. It just all added up. Sometimes when I talk to people, I'm like, oh man, I'm happy I consumed a lot at one point. Still am, but not like when you're younger. You can consume so much. That's why you could probably learn about 5 languages. Your brain can just stretch even more. So I suppose, you know, and I remember I used to get forced to learn because I didn't really want to learn. So my mum, she really took that serious, you know, and I remember my reading wasn't too good at one point as well. So it's funny what you can overcome in life and how you can use things that are negative to make positive things in your life. And, you know, like I said, all them, like we would have thought there was a cartoon that used to the person was in the game, even though it was a game. He was always in the game, and I used to find that kind of mad. But we didn't know, if we knew what the future would have led to then to now, what it is now. Everyone wondered about what the 2000s was going to bring. There was all these theories, all these you know, conspiracy theories about, oh, people would die, the world will end, when really it was just like predicted in the Bible that like in 2000 or whenever year, it was just the beginning of the end. So I suppose like we didn't realise those were the best of the last days, because these days it was just going to be madness. The game was just going to intensify. The video game was going to be real life, like GTA. The movies were becoming real. Back in the days, everybody knew everything was fake to a point, but it was still more real. We knew the music lyrics was not, like, people were artists, they were writers. They had to make it like even when I listen to music to this day, you do think to yourself, oh, it's hard for the normal guy who wants to just be lyrical and stuff, because if he's not putting in all these extra added ingredients or details, people are gonna just get bored. Because who would have knew back then when people were all lyrical and creative and artistic, it used to count for something because it was saying you was an individual. But we didn't know in the future that they were going to try and like make people robot. They were telling us, but we probably didn't believe it. That they're just going to make people like robots and just keep going and going and going. That's why they got that AR whatever shit now, and there's fucking people doing that weird shit. I was watching this guy doing it just earlier at one point, and it was mad. Like, it was very catchy though. I've always got to pick up these American people, because, as I say, I've never seen people like them before on this planet. They are very fascinating people. They just, one thing I must say, I love the way, even when something they do is disturbing, and it's, sometimes you just can't understand it, they find a way to make it work. That's what I respect, that type of stuff. Because there's one thing, things being bizarre, it's like I saw a Satan worship. And as soon as I saw this guy, I said, well, maybe he does worship the devil. But he looked at it as a marketing tool, and that's all you really see going on out there. You just see people being really creative and finding mad creative streaks and ways just to make money. But it's so convincing and it looks so good and it's so artistic and very creative. Because I suppose they go to the depth when they do something, like, they are all in. And I suppose that's the difference. I mean, I've always known that I'm all in, but I'm not 100% all in. Because I'm probably not really, the only thing I've ever really been 100% in, or I would be in, is just living life. To be honest and true, like, that's the only thing I think I could ever be 100% in. It's just living life, everyday life. That's all I know. I don't really care. It's a good thing I came on with this armor. I didn't even know I had it. This fucking Iron Man armor's come in handy, boy. It was good artillery armor, because just came on just remembering in my mind. I don't care what anyone says about me. They could say I'm fucking boring. I'm like, whatever. I know I'm not. And I know I can be all whatever I want to be when I want to be, I can be it. But I don't need to. And I'm a person that, if I had to do all that, like I've said it tons and tons of times, I have to be compensated. And I don't even know. But I'm saying, if I'm acting and I'm doing gimmicky stuff, checks should be being signed. That's how I've always looked at life. I'm going to make myself into a full gimmick. That way, I saw this guy today. I really wanted to share the life because it's just so funny. How someone could talk about corn. Corn. It was fucking funny. And I just thought to myself, then I went and looked at his YouTube. I said, this guy's not a bad rapper. And I watch another guy who never ever talks. Oh, the shit's got so dry and boring, but that is fascinating though. To have an audience and never talk and just stare at the camera. And he's just, in this world, in this time, nothing ever ceases to amaze me no more. What people like, what they're into, what they could get drawn into. Oh my God, this. But you do see, that tells you the way the world's more or less going. They don't want nothing fucking healthy. It's a bit like food. 95% of the population, even the good people, at some point, they're going to want healthy stuff. But if most people are honest to themselves when no one's looking, or, especially them people always putting the food on the bloody camera, you don't know what they're eating when they're when they're not in. So you know what I'm saying? Everybody's always going to eat something they shouldn't be eating most of the time. And there's a little 5% of people that will never break it. But breaking it, like, I've told people, yeah, you're allowed to treat yourself and all that. But if you say you're not a sugar person, no sugar really means no sugar. And that's hard management. Like, when you cut out certain things in your life, it's very hard never to go back to them again. It's more than discipline. It's serious. Like, I mean, I've done it, and I know how hard it was. I used to see people eating cakes and shit, and I used to want that cake, but because I was so disciplined at that point with the sugar, I never ever partook in it, and it was hard not eating biscuits and things. I mean, I do miss it, but it was like everything in life. When I wasn't doing that, I missed doing it. Now I'm not doing it like that. I miss not. You know what I mean? It's always like that. But as long as you know, you know. And I forgot my main point, but yeah, people gotta do what they gotta do. Still, you know, I'm not knocking no one, but for me personally, I know who I am and what I am, and I never felt the clown role. You know, clowns are usually very unhappy people, and I never felt that role. I never wanted it. I said it's for someone else, not for me. This is the role I will take and accept it. Glad I'll accept this role humbly, and I'm glad to have it, because at the end of the day, it's good to be different, man. I don't care what no one says. I know that. That's what sometimes people suffer, yeah, because they can't be different and they can't be who they want to be. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to feel trapped. I don't feel like if I don't do these things, who will I be? Like, you know, I've always said in life, you just gotta make yourself fucking happy, man. Selfishness is needed sometimes, because the world's an ugly place. And that's why I always got this vision of me, and I say it all the time, you know. Who knows one day? Maybe one day it's just gonna be me. Hopefully, you know, family, but I don't know if they're gonna wanna, or people are gonna wanna go the way I wanna go in the end. You just don't know. But I could easily walk away from all this shit tomorrow. I've said it many times, because there's nothing really there, you know, like, sometimes you wake up and you realise, yeah, how could you not have realised it was always about the simplest things in life? Probably not having a lot of clothes. There's so many things, and you always knew it, but you played into the consuming game because everybody knew or knows that when you buy things and you do all these things, you're just staying busy. It's like, how many times have I swapped hobbies and fucking things I'm interested in? Because it's the only way you survive sometimes. Like, you know, you gotta keep your brain moving. Sometimes you'll see people collecting train sets and shit like that, and whatever things, and it's just because they're bored. Sometimes they got the money, sometimes they ain't even got the money, but they just need that hobby to get into, just to keep them going. I even see people sometimes and I think, God, aren't you not over-exercising? But that's probably their law, because even exercising can become a hobby too. God, I'm sorry. From the time you get up every day, even if you don't do push-ups all year round, and chin-ups and weights and all that, from you make it how many times a year, and you're still active and you're doing things and you're on your feet every day, and I'm talking from a man's point. I don't know really what to say about a woman's exercise regime, but from you're active like nearly half of the year, especially doing the push-ups, the weights, whatever, I've let that shit go now, because I know the main thing is actually moving your body. How many people probably bang out weights every day, but they don't rotate their arms properly because they're not like picking up dishes, moving different things in different angles. All they're doing, that's why they look like a bloody hanger, most of them men and that. Because they pump this weights and iron, and then their body goes a certain way. But the best muscle is like really less muscle, because then you've got better reflexes. You can move your arms better, faster. Oh, no. See, when you learn the truth, yeah, you know. And everybody, we live in a mad world where people already seen Bruce Lee fuck up a 7-foot giant. You know what I mean? People seen that shit. Well, they think that's a joke. They think a man like that can't take a man down like, 7 foot or whatever. Or somebody who weighs, I don't know, 16, 17 stone and you weigh 10. This is what people don't realise. Sometimes it's just the mind. If your mind and your body is sharp, quick reflexes. Look at Steven Seagal. People never learn, do they? Like, there's people out there that you will not think are dangerous. And that's what surprises me so much about people, you know. How shallow, naive they are, how they just constantly judging. You could see a fat person and think they're not even bloody fast, and they will shock you. Do you know what I mean? They will actually shock you, because just like they think the bear can't move fast, they think that about people with weight sometimes. They think they're not going to be fast. Sometimes they're slow. But that's like everything in life, you know? And people just don't realise that shit. Some big men move fast. Some big women move fast. But they're big, but they can move. And that's what gets people sometimes. Some little men are strong as some men. They could probably manage as much as things as a 15 stone man could, and they might be only 12, 11. People are dumb, man. I'm telling you, man. They've just got no... There's no bloody... What's the word? They say don't underestimate anything or anyone. People they overestimate people, like in the sense of, if you just let your eyes always control your brain. Like, I can't remember, I had this weird dream about last night, someone swearing I had something that I didn't have. Oh, it was a crazy dream. But it was just people who, I realised what the dream was about. The basic moral of the dream was, there's so much people who just presume stuff, yeah. We all do. But I mean, people are doing it in a crazy ratio now. And they assume all these things about people. They don't know anything. They don't take time to learn nothing. And they just think all these things. Because that's all people do now. It's people are constantly sizing other people up. That's one of the biggest problems in the world today. Is that people think they know it. Because people spend so much time actually using their eyes, they forget to use their brains. And they don't use their brains anymore, because the eyes, for most people, don't connect to the brains. And they don't connect to the right circuits. So whatever circuits they got, or however they're wired up, when their eyes see something, it feeds the brain something completely different to actually what it really is. Because they don't have those eyes to see the truth and the realness. It's almost like a veil, over their eyes, covering. It's like, some people will swear it's red and it's blue. And it really is blue, but to them it's red. Because that's what their eyes see. And I suppose, this is what I realise, that, every day I pray that my brain can stay in one piece for as long as possible. That's why I'll probably always do these things. Try and read as much books, whatever I can do, exercise, push myself to the limit when I can. Forever, as long as I can, as long as I'm alive, that's what I want to do. I watched a video the other day, and I was watching this woman. I think she had Parkinson's or something like that. and she lived in the cold. I don't know what country she was from, but it was just a quick video. And it was just really interesting watching this woman. I don't know if they said she was how old she was, but she was maybe 80 or maybe even older. I don't even want to say. They could be lying because, you know, they clickbait. But she looked a good age. And what got me was she had to do all her cooking and her tidying up and, you know, and she was just shaking all the time and she could have just given up because I thought to myself, my God, imagine you got to carry a pot, yeah, and your hands is just shaking, your nerves. Because they say that's what Parkinson's is. You can't control your nerves because your brain is just, people don't realize your brain's connected to your nerves and all that stuff. And if it all shuts off, whatever Parkinson gives you, you will have no control. You could even fall over and stuff. And I was just watching this old woman. I said, you see, look at her. Tough as boots, you know. She's not depending on nobody. That's one thing I respect about the older generation. They don't like to rely on anyone. Could learn something from them. Very important to be independent for as long as possible, even when you're in pain. Serious, heavy duty pain. And you know what? Talking about pain, it's the Western world, man. All they do is complain and complain and bitch and bitch and bitch and complain. And that's why I find these days, I don't want to be around a lot of people. They fucking do you in, man. Demolition jobs. Complain, bitch. They don't want to do nothing. They don't want to make a change. I've never seen a place where all people do is give themselves mental health, illnesses, say they're sick, this is wrong, this person's no good, and this person done them over, and blah, blah, blah. But where's the action? Where's the fucking action? Where is the action? Where is the, alarm bells, I need to make a move? If I'm going to let someone sit down and take my food or come and do me over knowingly, and I'm just going to say, all right, man, go and do it. Because I guarantee it will never end. Never. That's why I don't care. I learned that to make it on your own and be alone is sometimes the best salvation you'll ever have. I mean, if you don't have to, you don't have to. But some people have to. Because we're not willing to sacrifice our sanity for other people to keep their cup full, while our cup is not even half full, not even a quarter. Because, you know, comes into a time in life where you get tired of plugging into people. Everybody must be rewarded for all good efforts. Even acknowledgement is a rating of something. Real acknowledgement from the heart, you know? Who wants to keep wasting their time on wasteful people, man? I've learned that. And the one thing I love about me is I'm not scared to walk away from people who I know when I need to walk away. I was saying this story the other day about every time I look at my locks here, it represents so many things and so much stuff, like to me and in life. But the one thing I'm so proud of is I was 23. I was going through all changes. I was thinking about, I think it was 22, end of 22, going on 23. And I was just getting my first proper place, and I was really sitting down, and I'm not saying I was going to be this and that in life, and I knew just wanted a simple life, you know. But one thing I knew was when I moved from the old address that I was at, I was hardly taking anybody with me. There was no point. I had to start afresh and go a different path and do something different. And I'll tell you what, that was one of the best things I ever did in my life. Never looked back. Never worried about what friend I lost, relationship I lost, because you know what? None of it was worth keeping. I had to cut it off to start anew and have new sensations and new experiences and new different things, different people, different things, different scenery. And it taught me a lot. And who knows, if I never made that transition at the time, I probably wouldn't even be here now, talking how I'm talking, being able to relate to all these people, because it was the beginning of me entering into manhood. And it was like no more, you know, I realised, yeah, you sit down with too many boys around you, you're going to be a boy forever. Or a boy man, or a man boy, whatever they call them. I didn't want to be that. I wanted to go out there, go through hard days on my own, face the fire on my own. Didn't want no friends that, you got people, you call them up and, or they pretend like they care, or they're interested, but they're not really going to fucking help you, man. They're not going to really support you. So I got out of that game early. And that's why I think, it kept my sanity a bit more, because most people, they know they're getting cheated, and, that's life. We get cheated every day, but I just needed to be salvation. That's what I was looking for salvation. I was looking for peace of mind. That's why I talk to so many people, and I'm like, wow, see, CJ, if you never did that, you would have been like that. Brain scrambled, frazzled, burnt out, nothing. Sometimes I'm like, what's going on? Some people, they know it, but they can't connect it. Some people don't have the mental strength just to lock off. Do you know how hard it is for most people just to say, fuck this, I'm off, and just turn off? And when I realise how easy it is for me, I'm like, thank God, man, you blessed me with that ability. I don't look at no one thinking I'm missing nothing, because most of the time they're gonna miss me. Because I'm not gonna lie, in my life, not everybody's gonna feel like that, but I felt like I was the prize. I brought the happiness to people. Like I said, most people just want to bring you misery, man. Sad stories, depression. I never did that to people. So I realised I was on a different level. When I realised you stop that shit, man. No one wants to hear sad stories forever. No one wants to hear someone 5 years later still talking about the same place you're in, the same person you're with, especially if it's not productive, it's not positive. No one wants to hear. And no one will tell you. They'll just talk about you behind your back. So yeah. I used to watch this man as well. I used to talk to all these people. His name's called Ben Fogel. He used to interview all these people that, he was kind of doing vlogs at the time, but we didn't know. But he just interviewed people that gave up, walked away from everything. Some of these people did it on their own as well. I always remember thinking, what makes someone just walk away from everything and everyone? And now I know why. But I didn't know why then. Ain't that funny? You wondered. But you had no clue how they actually really did it. And then when you get to know, it's not too late, but it's like you wish you knew when you knew. When you wanted to know, but you didn't know. You was inquiring, you was wondering. That's the good thing about time and age of it, things come to you. You wish they came to you a little bit earlier, but when they come, you're so thankful, because you was dying for those answers, man. And now you finally realise this is why people do these things, because there's nothing in this matrix Babylon system, for people. All there is death, worry and stress, and a life of hell. And you gotta keep playing tin can soldiers and all that, with all these dumb politicians and these stupid people with their stupid ideas and the way, I don't want to mix with people like that no more. They infect you, man. That's what they do. I only endure now. That's all I do. I just endure and count my days. I feel like them people when they're locked up and you see them put whatever they used to write on the wall and cross it off. Well, that's what I'm doing in my head. Just crossing it off, man. Saying, you know what? I'll bide my time. When the right time comes, I'm out of here, boy. And I ain't looking back. Because there's nothing to look back for. And I'll say this. Even if I never get there, which I want to get there, but if I don't, at least I did in my mind. I was already there. So even if I don't get there physically, mentally I'm there. I'm there right now. I'm there most nights. That's why I'm up most nights. I'm thinking about, me on my nice little acre, shack, whatever you want to say, I don't know. Just freedom, letting go of all this chaos and problems and just letting go. That's what I had to learn. Let it go. Let it go, Jay. Just let it go. And that's what I'm actually, in my mind, that's where I'm at. And that's what I'm always telling myself, that's what it is. And that's what I'm practicing now. And I've been practicing it for a long time. Most people won't believe this. I don't think I've actually sat down with a man in my house as a friend or whatever for well over 15 years. More than that, probably. But I've never done it. And I enjoyed it, like not doing it, because it's like, when you get to a man, you realise, man, you ain't got time for no man who ain't got his self in order, Because some men bitch too much, some men lack a lot in certain departments and areas, and they just make excuses, and, it's stressful listening to other people, man. I'm not going to lie, especially men. Like, that's probably the word. Women, you more expect to hear, or this and that, and whatever. But when men, because some men can get stuck in limbo, and it can get so terrible. Because we're men. We're always going to be more extreme than a woman to a degree, because we're men. When men go down, they go down hard and fast, don't they? When they go up, it's usually quick and swift. That's a man's life most of the time. Most of the time when a man's on the way out, he goes out fast. Sometimes he also suffers while he's on the way out. Just like sometimes when you're going to get to the best of your game or the top of the top, you're going to have some rough days, boy. Some serious rough days. Because when you get there, to wherever that is, wherever you're going, you ain't going to take that shit for granted, because you know, and you knew what it took to get there. So when you see everyone else laughing and joking and taking this shit for some joke, you ain't going to do that. Because you know what it took and how hard it was and what you had to endure and the amount of disappointments. Some people walk around in this world and they ain't got nothing to ever look forward to. And they've given up completely. And sometimes you can't blame them, man. Life knocks the stuffing out of you. And life, it's a very interesting time in life though, because it does show you like who's who, who's this person, like, and who's really got it. Bit like when we watch all those games, like those survival games, those mental ones on the TV, the Big Brothers, whatever. I'm a celebrity, get me out of the jungle, whatever, all of them things. It's all what we're doing now. That's all what it's going to be. And it's just about, in the end, in the very, very end, it's about who can survive, who can maneuver, who can be the most versatile, who can be a quick thinker, an innovator, somebody who's going to break the mold and break the chain, you know. That's what the real winners in life are going to be doing, and they're doing right now. All the losers are on the loser train, you know. Oh yeah, let me be a sheep, man, and stick with the mob and bloody stick with the, what do you call it, the pack, not the pack, the flock. Sheep flock together, so they got to stick with each other, you know, because when one sheep sees that one move left to eat grass, he goes left, and then the others follow in line to go and eat the grass. And that's why they're called sheep. Maybe because they're cheap. Maybe because they don't know how to play for keeps. I don't know. But there must be a reason why people are sheep and certain people are not. Good vibes. Yo, bro, that's my friend from Scotland. How are you, man? If that's you. And that's what it is, man. We and people like me, I just could never be a sheep. I've always been like I said, an innovator. I knew I was a natural born leader. I didn't always know, but once I got to know, I could never turn back. Because my eyes were like, I didn't want to be like Samson, you know. He let a woman take away his glory and his strength. And God had to, like, you know, blind him and make him come back to his senses, because, and even the woman who sold him out loved him all along. Yes, bro, how you been, man? How is Scotland? How's your family? Hope everyone's alright, man. Yes, but I could never forget you, man. First person, like, when I started doing my little lives, you know, came in here and you still remember me, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what you call real people, man. Real respect, because you remember me, bro. And I even been doing a live for, bloody hell, I looked, it was probably about, I've done little ones here and there, but not, you know. But I appreciate that, bro. Thank you very much. Very nice of you to come and see me, man. But yeah, I hope everything's good for you, bro, and your family and everything, and life, and because sometimes, you know, but I'm definitely you're gonna be seeing a lot more of me now, man. I'm telling you. Definitely. I've said this so many times, but I'm very confident. Wow, that's good, man. Yeah, that's really good. That's it. Yeah, I remember having a little conversations with you, man. I said, oh, this person's a night owl like me, you know? And we did, yeah, good understanding. I did meet, yeah, I must admit, like, this YouTube is very impressive, man, because there's probably a lot of shit people on here, you know? But so far, with the few people I've met, I'm very happy. You know, and I hope to meet more, because it gives me a lot of confidence, like, just meeting a few good people already. Like, it's a good feeling, actually. Very good feeling. So yeah, definitely wanna. And there was a few people coming in at that point, so I definitely remember that. Yeah, man. Night owls. I like the name of that name, Night Owl. Like, we're nocturnal. I've always loved the night, though. Like, when I became I mean, even when I was younger, but when I became like 15, and then by the time I was living on my own, oh my God, there was no limits, man. Like, I was just always up in the night, like wherever. You remember that? Yeah, I'm work, bro. You know what happens is, yeah, real life always comes into this play here. So sometimes you're on a road, but the road is long and it's gonna be a deep, long road, bro. So yeah, I will get everything. I'm sure I will get there in the end. But one day I must show you. I've done a few things like I think that's what you heard me say. I did a few like what do you call it? Um, I forgot the name. I'm forgetting so many things these days. Um, they call them like yeah samples. That's it. I've done a few for me because that's another plan of mine this year. I'm trying to like customize my house more. Like so, I just it's just been something I've always wanted to do. I always wanted to have. I think I've said this before, but I always wanted to have like everything mine with my name on it, my picture, whatever you want to say. So this year, uh, I'm very 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 interested in that. Trying to by the end of the year say, oh my God, I've nearly done it now. I've got the I don't know key rings because these are just like all samples of things that I'm looking to get into, and I just want to see them, feel them. I'm like that type of person. Before I get into something or want to sell it onto anyone else, I want to experience it. I need to see what that's going to look like. It's a bit like the way I designed everything in my mind, in my house. It was like, before anyone else could enjoy it or whatever you want to say, I was already picturing it. And I was thinking where this was going to go and how I was going to do that. And I'm telling you, man, it takes a long time to design. You could be sketching this down, writing it down, or it's all in your brain. It's still going to take a long time because I'm the type of guy or person, when I hit, man, I don't play about, bro. I look like they should call me Sleepy J, man, or Mr. Magoo, or even maybe Stevie Wonder. Because to a point, I think sometimes I can't even see things straight myself, but for some reason, I managed to just take pieces of things and put them together, and they do work out. And then people say, "Oh, wow, how did you do that?" And I think, "Fucking hell, they don't have no clue." Like it was all like Scrabble, scrambled eggs, and I was just trying to. I'm probably an abstract thinker, but because I put the pieces together when I get it and it's all abstract, it manages to kind of like level out. Uh, no, yeah, bro. Tell you from a kid, man. I have a very, 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 very big imagination, and I always wondered, yeah, when I was older, was I gonna get to execute my imagination? And it's funny, I'm really like a kid in a playground, bro. I'm like, yeah, I relate to that life, I probably I'm like a man child in a way, like I don't really want to be too old, and I don't want to be too young. You know what I mean? I'm kind of in the middle. Well, I'm not old anyway, but I mean, when I do get there, probably 50. When I get to 50, I know I'll still be like interested in all these different things and just love. I mean, I used to love owning things, but it was probably just collecting. It wasn't so much the owning. It was just collecting. I was always like a collector of many things. When I got to my teen years, I just don't know. My interest got up. Started reading like, because I was a newspaper boy. So I started reading the Financial Times, and I started reading the what was it called again? Bloody hell, the Telegraph, and just newspapers I had no business reading. I was interested. So what I realized was I was a very big consumer. Even to this day, nothing's changed. If people talk about someone, they probably wouldn't think I know who the person is. Could be famous, whatever. I know most of the shit, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm one of them people. I put my hands into many things, and sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes that's a bad thing. But when I look at my life, sometimes I think, well, I have to. I've got no choice. I gotta do that, because when you're a one-man army, you have to have thousands of ideas, because you don't have the luxury of, like, I've never had the luxury of having big backers or people behind me or people I can fall back on. So I've had to have tons of ideas and things to keep me afloat. That's probably what the collections all turn into, or maybe subconsciously, because it was like I was always thinking, oh shit. It's like now, I've always got this thing about running out of food. Oh, it's quite funny as well, because I've always had food. It's not like all my life I never had food, but what it was is when I was younger, when my mum used to send me to my dad's house, and I used to stay there. They lived very measly compared to how we lived. Like, they were very budgety type of people. They were always on a budget, counting this, checking that. So it was like hell going with them, living with them, even if it was for a weekend. Or I mean, a weekend wasn't too bad, but if it was anything more than a week, bellies were rumbling, man. You going to bed like you felt like you were doing hard time, And there was no luxuries, nothing. Just the food was pigeon food, man. And I always remember that shit. And to this day, it's never left me, man. Like, I need to have I've gone on £200 shopping sprees, man, just for food. Because I'm just got this thing in my mind that you need to have food. And it's not that, because it's, when you're seeing people living like that, man, I'm telling you, man, it can really do you in. Because when I was at my mum's house, we always had a good Sunday dinner. Even if we had pasta and tuna, it was luxury, You come home, you have a little snack or something. It was never nothing big, because you had school dinners, but you always had a good dinner. So when I was having, I'm getting underfed, let me say it like that. Some people underfeed, like I didn't even used to look it. When you're a kid, you don't really look it like that. But when you get older, you realise, God, people really live like that. Just to hold back on money. Yeah, so, now I've got to have food. Like, I have to. Right? That's one thing in life, I must have it. But yeah, it makes you a little bit like, so, that's what I'm saying. All that stuff I do and what I do, it's just to make sure. I remember one time, I was doing a live, and this woman who used to come in my life said to me, oh, you should see the rings I got on the finger there. She said, oh, one of your rings could feed her, for like a month or a couple weeks. And, well, I think she said a month at the time. And I said, shit, well, I know that, but I never really thought of it like that. And then when she said that, a chef, yeah. Can you cook anything, bro? You know what? It's always good. What I learned about life is it's always good to have something backup. It could be £1 backup. It could be £1,000 backup. It could be bloody £200 backup. Could be a couple thousands, whatever, or more. But just that word, back up, you know, is very important. Because when you are down, man, and you've got nothing, and you're struggling and you need something, you must always depend on yourself first. Because you know, there's shame sometimes when you have to go to people and say, oh, could you bail me out, please? Or could you, you know? And that person's more than likely going to talk about you. More than likely. Oh, wow. Can you cook Caribbean? You say anything, man. Yeah, I know, man. They do that. Chefs, though, you know, I used to be friends with a chef. He used to earn good money. He used to earn about, and this was cash. He used to earn about, I think, 700, 800 a week. And that guy used to do me in. Sometimes I used to want to punch him in the face, yeah. So how the hell can you be broke? How the hell can you be broke, I used to think. And you earn, well, it was his lifestyle, obviously, but it was just madness, man. Sounds good, bro. Sometimes I feel a bit like a chef. So like when I used to do my lives, I must do. I think I'm gonna do them on YouTube at one point. I am. I'm gonna enjoy that when I do some cooking on here. Maybe more in the summertime. Do some fish, and then I'm gonna do some on. I've got ideas, man. That's one thing about me. I've got tons of ideas. I bought myself a camper. I actually want to do that, you know. I've been meaning to do that, but I've just been like, what location? Like, I've got to look that up. Cause I do want to. I've been thinking about camping a lot lately, a lot. I'd love to spend like a week in the woods, man. Just me. Like, could I do it? Yeah, and I want to do, as I was saying, I want to do some cooking outside, like on my balcony this year. Because I've got the cooker. I just need to get the gas cartridge to, and then maybe try and sneak them somewhere else as well. It'd be lovely to do that, man. Bring a little, you know, a little table with you or something, your little cooker, your little chair, and you just sit there, chop up your little bits and bobs, and probably have to pre-chop everything and all that, but it would be fun, man. I could imagine me doing that. Cause I used to watch that shit on TV and always be like, one day, man, I want to do that. That's a good thing with the internet, like, you could do madness, man. All your dreams, you can do them, reenact them. Count all my days, bro. Are you good outside, yeah? Like Scotland, innit? Are you up in the hills? I think you said you was from Dundee or somewhere. Did you say you was from Dundee? I remember when I was young, yeah, and I used to look at the Scottish Premiership. It used to have some crazy names. Kirk something, Dundee, Aberdeen, um, Dunfermline. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. I know about Glasgow Rangers, because didn't Ali McQuaid used to play for them, and I used to like Paul Gascoigne in them days. Yeah, the nature, bro. Nature's been calling me a lot lately. Been feeling it, like whispering in my ears saying, Jay, come back, come home. Come home. You're not home, man. You need to come back to nature too. You know, and I've been feeling it a lot, actually. A lot. So any chance I get to get there, Dunfermline. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, Celtic. Dunfermline. Am I pronouncing it right? Let me see the. You know, one thing I've learned in life is, yeah, when you're not sure about something, you guess it, but rather than just guessing it, you gotta sometimes hear the. That's why nowadays I go on Google, and if I'm not sure about the pronunciation of something or the meaning, I just check it straight away. It's quite nice there. Probably a lot of history, isn't there? Let me hear. Let me hear how the Scottish people say it.
Dunfermline.
Dunfermline. See?
Dunfermline.
Did I supposed to say it right?
Dunfermline.
How many times I'm playing that? So let's check out why is it called that. It's derived from dun, fortified hill, firm, bent or crooked, and lin, a cascade or pool. A reference of the city name is found in the Tower Hill. Drops over a 15-foot cascade of the firm burn. Oh, I always knew there was some history with all these. Every place, like, it's just like in London, yeah. Most of it was farmland. And I love watching the pictures of like old areas, like what they used to look like in the 1800s and all that shit. It's really interesting, man. I like the castles as well. We don't realise in this country there is a lot of history like that, like with castles and buildings and land points. Like you got Stonehenge. I've never been there. There's some places I want to go, but I don't want to go, if you know what I mean. I always wanted to go to see the Angel of the North. Fascinating, that is. Very fascinating. The way where they put it and that big thing they got up there. It's almost a little bit like the Statue of Liberty. But the Statue of Liberty is way more creepy. They're all creepy to me. It's like when I went to Liverpool, I couldn't believe how many statues was in that city. There was loads, man. And fucking so much museums, and I said to myself, wow, Liverpool's quite like, it's not what I thought it was. Because everybody talks about the rough side of Liverpool, and you forget there's, everywhere you go, there's a good part, shit part. Because they got, Scousers have got quite a bad reputation. Yes, I've watched that as well. Yes, Scotland has got some history, man, some serious history. Yeah, my daughter's she's like got like probably a quarter Scottish, Do you know what? I do think sometimes Liverpool and Scotland are like they're probably maybe the two most understood. I don't know. I feel like people misunderstand them a lot, like the way they talk, the way they are, like the reputation. Tell you what though, I've always liked both of those places. I've got to go to Scotland one day, even if it's for a little weekend or something, man. I kind of want to go by train though, because I've been watching a lot of those things on on the internet lately, and I was like, oh, I've never experienced what it would be like to be on a train for like more than 4 or 5 hours, and could I handle it? I kind of want to sleep on a train, bro. I've never done it, so I thought, you know what, one day I've got to try that out, see what it's like to maybe go on overnight. Because I did like when I went to Liverpool, I actually purposely went overnight because I didn't want to waste a moment once I got there. Have you done it? Cause I think it took about 6 hours. That was a long drive. Fucking hell, it was nearly 6 hours. That's how long it took me to get to America, man. It was like 6, but it was enjoyable though. Like sleeping through the night, because as soon as I got there, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that it takes time to get booked into the hotel, so you have to, like, stay busy. So I thought, all right, I'll be out there first thing in the morning. I had a little bit of sleep, so I'll have a bit of energy. So I had it all planned what I was gonna do. I was gonna find a gym, sauna, all that stuff. How long is it? It's about 8 hours, isn't it? It's more than that. I heard it's about 10 hours. Yeah, I love them journeys though, man. Because what is with me, I just like looking out the window and being on the motorway. And since a kid, I was like that. Just love looking out the window. Even if I'm on the plane, boat, whatever, I just like looking out windows. So yeah, it's lovely. Especially in the night time. Because I like to do both, night and day. Because if you're going somewhere in the night time, it's a different vibe, different effect. Go there in the daytime, different vibe, you know what I mean? So that was different, definitely. But when I got home, bro, I was shattered, man. I was shattered. So you can't do that often. But yeah, definitely got to try the train though. And I want to do like a slow journey. Like, so I can get there, sleep on the train, eat on the train, whatever. Knowing me, I won't want to pay. I'll probably bring all my own food with me. Something like that. Yeah, I want to get a room with like a bathroom in there. And then maybe spend a night there. I think that'll be fun. And some of these things, I actually just want to do them on my own. I don't even want to go with anyone. Just want to do them on my own, man. Because I do like getting away. Well, I'm not going to lie. I don't know out of the country, but in the country, it's a lot easier to travel on your own. Because, even though you're going places you don't know, you know the culture more. So it's easier to just maneuver. But yeah, man, I would love to try that, boy. I know, yeah. Oh, man. I was talking to someone about, this woman, sorry, she lives in Leeds. And she said that she used to live here for about, I think it was over a year. And I said to her, what year was it? She said 2005. And I thought, fucking hell. I just started my hair, literally at that year, like growing my locks. And we said 2005, I thought, oh my God, I got my first proper place I ever lived in was 2005. And I just started growing my hair properly. And I was thinking how different London was at that point. And when she said that, it just made me think, wow, what would she think now? In her mind, she must probably still think it's the same. And it's no way the same. It's completely, like you said, it's just like, did a 360, man. Changed overnight. Literally. It ain't the same, man. Okay. Oh, really? Oh, them. Oh, shit. Was you into Eminem in them days? Oh, yeah, you made me remember. Oh, that tune said, I am what I say I am. I am. I think I remember that tune. Do you remember that one? The one where he was falling down the off the off the building. That was a sick video, man. Yeah, those were different times, man. When you actually had to go out and buy a CD. The way, yeah, that's what it is. I am. Yes. You made me remember, man. Those were different times, boy. Wow. How different those times was. It was very good. I enjoyed it a lot, man. I mean, sometimes I'm so happy I can communicate with people everywhere and all over, and it's nice. But I do miss the days when I never used to be on the phone, and I probably wouldn't have done this stuff in them days. 'Cause I do remember asking about YouTube around 2008 or 9 when it came out, about 8, 7, whatever, when it came out. And I remember asking and I had no clue. And that's the time when people were probably more natural, because when I remember people used to say that word viral, it used to mean something so different to what it means now. It was like, it was just because something was captured on the camera and blah, blah, blah. And that's what would make it, whereas now, when you see what viral really means now, it doesn't mean the same thing it used to mean then. So sometimes I do miss them days because things were more. It was like YouTube, it took years for it to build to what it is now. Now it's a monster machine. But back then it was just on the up and coming, and anyone could have jumped on there. And there's probably people who did. And another thing I learned about the internet, bro. Some people don't realise everybody can sometimes will get a turn. Not everybody, but most people will get a turn. But nothing's guaranteed to stay forever. So if you did really well for a year, you're quite lucky. And maybe if you've never done well, you're quite lucky. But what I'm saying is like that thing viral. I think it took life to another level because everybody was just aspiring to be famous. So talent wasn't real, if you know what I mean, anymore. People weren't really being themselves. That's what ruined it, I think, if you ask me. Wow. No, I mean, you know what? That's what I'm saying. Back in them days, people did. Look, I still wear bright colours. I mean, I don't give a shit. But people were individuals as well. Like, people wore what they wanted to wear. People dressed how they want. You know what I mean? People spoke how they. It was just different. No, it ain't like that now, man. You don't really see much unique people anymore. Only when you come on the internet. And then you don't even know if they're really, really what they say they are. Because I do get pissed off when people pretend to be unique, give off that look, whatever you want to say, but then they don't have the persona of a unique person. It's a little bit like, it's disrespectful. But then again, it's the net. Anybody can act. And yeah, I remember we were talking about that. Yeah, it's good that you got everything back on track now, and you feel content and all that. Yeah, I know what you mean, though. But you know what, bro? Life is a roller coaster. Like, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. It's all different, you know? I've learned that. And life's like snakes and ladders. You don't know where you could be today, tomorrow. You could, you could be right at the top of the peak, and then tomorrow, it's all downhill. So you just never know. That's why Bob Marley said, that song Rat Race, man, it's a horrible life to live, man. When you're in the rat race lifestyle, wow, can be horrible. People fighting, competing with each other. I mean, we've always been doing that, but I don't know. There's no more humanity left, man. That's what I think the problem is. Yeah, but I've been alright, I mean, you have your days and stuff like that, but I mean, I just look at life sometimes and I say, you know what, every day's a test, and try and be the best you can be. It's not guaranteed every day or every minute, but that's all you can do is just try and keep going. And I mean, as long as I'm alive and I'm kicking, I'm gonna keep going, man. There's gonna be a lot of obstacles and a lot of shit, but I'm the type of it. I'm just an in and out type of person in life, man. I like to be around. I like to be seen. Then at the same time, I like to be in the, sometimes I like to be camouflaged. Like I'm there, but I'm not there. So I've always been like that. I'm a come and go type of guy, really, in life. I mean, I might be doing this today and that tomorrow. So yeah, I know my life, and I never really quite know. I mean, I have a plan in life, but I don't want to over plan anything, because I've learned plans don't usually go the way you want them to go when you want them to go. But thank you, bro. Appreciate that, man. Definitely. Yeah, you guys, I mean, even relationships can be challenging, but it's good when you can just keep it together and hold everything together and, make it work, look after one another, be there for one another. That's the best, probably one of the best feelings in life, Family unit, togetherness, all that. It's very important, man. When I was growing up, man, I used to wish I had a dad, sometimes. It's not that I didn't have a dad, but we didn't really have that type of relationship. So sometimes I used to wish, man, to see people with their dads and their mum and dad. And I used to think, I mean, I was always grateful for my life, but sometimes, there's things that only men can teach you, and sometimes you can't go to your mum and talk to your mum about certain things. And probably vice versa. Oh yeah, bro, a good heart is very important. You gotta be a good person, I feel. In these times as well, it's nice to be, looked upon like that, because, you know, life can change you so quickly and suddenly. I've seen a lot of people go down dark roads, man. I've been friends with some people on the internet, not on the internet, People go down some dark roads, bro. I'm thankful that I managed to hang in there, try and not let the life suck me in, stay out of a lot of problems and stresses, and just try and stick to the script. I'm here to just be real, talk how I feel. If I can boost someone's day up, you know what I mean, that's it. All the other stuff people do, I don't really relate to that stuff. You wanna, when I stream and do lives or whatever, I'm just thinking, if this can help someone, which I don't know, but if it can, I've done something good, and that's it. And if I get blessed back or whatever good comes for me, I'm happy. Yeah, maybe when you have the balance, sometimes, not all the time, you make less mistakes. So then that saves you less time, quicker lessons learned faster, rather than slower. But hey, man, I mean, I wouldn't change nothing, but I get it, Yeah, so it's good. It's good that you got that now. Sometimes you can have good male role models in your life as well, God, I've been drinking a lot of water really fast lately. Who, me or you? Oh no, bro, I'm alright, man. But I appreciate that, though. Most of the time I'm just in here or doing my lives. I'm just expressing. It's just, I don't know. I'm just expressing myself. It's not really I don't know how I come across. I don't know. Because I remember a long time ago, one guy said to me, bro, I think you're very depressed. And I can't remember why he said that, but I said, no. I said, not really. I said, I'm not. I said, listen, man, everybody's struggling. Everybody's going through something or the other or whatever. It's the voice, bro. I don't know. At what point? What, with the thing with the with the food? Oh no. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you very much. I don't know, but I suppose I get that because, well, the thing with me is, you probably worked out, is I'm a person, I'll do half of the time on camera or maybe, whatever you want to say, audio. So sometimes, I suppose when people can't see, some people hate when they can't see you. Because if they have seen you, then when they don't see you, it's confusing to some people because people look at people and then they say that, they usually make a observation from maybe the way they're looking or, whatever. But when people can just hear you, it's not the same, is it? Some people have told me they don't like it. And I think, what would you have said if you never saw me then? But I suppose I get it. Because when you can't see somebody, all you've got is a voice. All you've got is a voice. Doing tattoos. Wow. How did they come out? Or did you teach yourself? Oh, all seeing eye. Do you do colour or just? Oh, really? Are you a good drawer? I met this man who draws. I'll have to show you the one I got. I got one done on my daughter, man. It's such a good drawing. I met this guy years ago. He was just doing graffiti, and I still see people doing it because I do like graffiti. But I don't know. There was something about this guy because I think he was doing this big portrait, and I said, "Wow!" Like, because I don't know if he had a girl like standing there and he was doing a picture at the same time, and it wasn't bad. And I approached him, and he was surprised. I approached him, and I said, "Yeah, I'll pay you. You know, can't pay you a lot, but I'll pay you." You know, he probably thought I was gassing him and all that. And I think in them days he didn't really have the internet. Did I meet? I think I met him, and I gave him the picture because I wanted it done a certain way. So yeah, he got the picture, and he actually did Iceman on a t-shirt. I'd have loved him to do some more stuff. When, oh yeah, they make quite a lot of money in there, don't they, from doing that stuff? I've heard, especially nowadays. So how many have you got all together? What I wanted to do was, I wanted to do, there's a picture of me that I use, a bit like the one on here with the dog. That would have been a good one. But not that one. There's my original picture that's like everywhere else. That one, I wanted that done on my wall in my bedroom. Shit, I don't even mind. They could do it in this room here. I don't know. Wherever there's a spare wall to do it. But I would like to like have some of my house looking really. Yeah, by the time I'm done in this house, it's gonna be like a fucking museum. Just want it to look like no one, like a house you've never seen ever. 12. Oh, wow. Did you do them all yourself? When I watch America, I'm surprised how much people get tattoos done in prison. It's like it's massive over there. You know, that's good thing with the internet. You get to see all these things. Oh, really? Oh, wow. I remember when I was going to get one done. Went to the place. I mean, if I ever did it, no, it's alright, bro. Don't worry, man. I mean, I'm not even thinking that. Sometimes my brain's slow and it's thinking, even moving. Even. No, but it's late anyway. But if I ever did, I would have done the tribal. I couldn't have because I remember when I was like thinking about writing and pictures and whatever. But now I said no, only tribal. Tattoo, I mean. If I ever did, I'd probably do like one arm, all tribal. Not that I'm gonna do it, but I remember when I was thinking of doing it though. Looking back, that would have been the best move. If I ever did it, I'd have probably just done tribal. Tribal, man, I love that style. Stands out a lot. Makes me think of like tribe leaders, gladiators, warriors, that type of thing. Have you ever done anything like that? You don't see a lot of people with that. I noticed. I think The Rock's got it. I think Busta Rhymes has got it. A few other people, but you don't see that. It's not very common. I noticed that. I mean, it probably is in some countries more, but I noticed it's not that common. Yeah, tribal. Yeah, something about that look. And didn't it come from like those Chinese Oriental countries? Because they used to do it like in what was that country called? They do it with a special tool. It looks very painful because I swear he's like not a hammer, but you hear the noise going. They still do it now. I forgot what they call it. Oh yes, you know that movie. Oh, what's that movie called? The one with Mel Gibson. It's really good, man. Oh, I forgot what it's called. Bloody name. I know what the name is because it's what they do. The name of the movie. It's a really good movie though, man. You gotta check it out, man. Mel Gibson, and it's like, you know when you take over the ship. Oh God, how can I forget that name? Bloody good movie though. Mutiny. Is it called Mutiny? Yeah, I'm sure it's called Mutiny. Very good film, man. Or is it called Bounty? I can't remember now. One of them anyway. Or Mutiny on the Bounty. Old film. Maybe one of Mel Gibson's first films. You know Anthony Hopkins is a good actor, so you can hear it, innit? It's another reason why I don't really like going on the camera no more. Because you gotta keep, popping your head out and blow the smoke. I don't think YouTube. Well, I'm not really officially on YouTube, if you know what I mean. I'm still got a long way to go, I think, till I can sort all that out. Monetized and all that shit. I'm not monetized. Not yet. Hopefully this year. We'll see. Yeah. Smoking, man. Smoking is makes you sound like you when you're smoking, sometimes you do sound funny as well. Let me get some water. My daughter's about that age. She's turned 13 as well, yeah. Big age, isn't it? We're gonna get him a computer. Or something like that. A phone. Oh, these kids now, man. Expensive trainers. They want it all, man. Not easy pleasing kids now, is it? Women, kids, bloody hell. Because there's so much pressure out there now, like clothes, fashion, phones. Yeah, not easy, not easy. money in the bank with those cards in it, and they could just tap them and yeah, man. Well, as long as they have 4 brothers. Who are you? I see you grew up with 4 brothers. Wow. Must be hard having 4 brothers, man. I never thought about that. Sometimes it works 2 ways, innit? You can have good brothers or a couple, one or two bad ones, and then, but because I hear people talk about it a lot of time. Oh, so you had 4 brothers and you got 2 daughters and 2 sons now. So it's still 4, isn't it? Your lucky number's 4. So if you ever play the lottery, you got 4 and 8. Remember me, man. Gave you a tip there. So that's your lucky numbers, 4 and 8. Always remember that. So I gave you 2 lucky numbers there. I'm telling you, that's a good luck token. Maybe tomorrow you should do a little, I don't know, do some Euro Millions. Oh, you got 1 sister. 5's a good number as well. So you got 4, 5, and 8. Is she your older sister or youngest? I think she's the last one, isn't it? Or she's got, because that's how it usually works, doesn't it? If you have 4 boys, she's either got to be the oldest or the youngest, I reckon. Am I right or am I wrong? I can't imagine her being in the middle. See, I'm right. Wow, I didn't even, it was just logic that told me that. Because I worked life out. What life is just basic science, really. And I'm not even a scientist, I just know that. Because I used to do a little bit of breeding. It gave me a little bit of insight of how these, the genes, science, it kind of works. Yeah. You're surprised I knew that, aren't you? I just think it's just logic. It's just a logic because I know about from when I did my pops. I learned a lot doing that. That's one thing I'm happy I did it because I learned a lot. I'll never forget one of the males. He carried the gene, I think, for a lot of females. So he passed it on because when we got him, they said that he was the only boy and he had 4 sisters. And I remember telling my mum, that means something. I said, you know what will happen one day? One of his pups will have the same litter. And they did. There's always one, though, that might carry more of that specific DNA, It's mad. You know what? It's crazy, science. It's just mad. Can have the same parents and. Yeah, it's all science, isn't it? Physics. Do you know even numbers is science as well? Like algebra and all that shit. It's all science, man. That's why probably a lot of people hate numbers, isn't it? Because numbers kind of confuse you. Like once the numbers start going up, people start going, ooh. You know, their head sometimes, they can't deal with all those numbers. And you got some people that say, well, you know, oh yeah, add that, times that, blah, 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 and they can do it. And so we're all here for different things. Oh, maybe psychic. Oh, I was talking about physics. I thought you meant physics, psychic. Yeah, psychic. 3-3 right now. What's that mean? Well, you know what? I did tell someone one day. I mean, I've done a lot of these type of things, but one day I said to someone, "You're gonna win a lot of money." I said to them. They said, "How do you know?" And you know what? I didn't even know how I did this here. I gave them the exact figure of what they were gonna win. Then they came back to me and told me that they got the exact amount. I think when you do those type, well, someone like me, if I did something like that, I wouldn't just. I even thought about it. I said, "Fucking no." I said, "You wouldn't just say that to anyone, would you?" Or was it? Shit. Wow. Wow. 3-3. Let's all right. Let's see now, because I feel like you're trying to tell me something, bro. So I'm gonna take that on board, and I'm gonna actually right now tell you what it means. 3-3 is a sign of growth, change, and support from the universe. Ain't that funny? We're in a kind of, what do they call this universe? Meteor, social media universe, whatever I don't know the name, but it's a universe in a way. It can appear in many areas of life, such as relationships, finances, work, or personal life. Ain't that funny? We was talking about, you said it was 3-3, and I was talking about like life, like the science of life, and then I was talking about how I knew someone, so I said like personal in a way, and I was talking about finances, which is money, and how they rang me and they did grow their money up because they got 10,000. Well, I think someone has to believe in you as well, if I'm honest. I think if there's no belief there, like if that person didn't believe they were gonna get that, I believe they would have never got that. Because they believed in me, that's why they got that as well. It says protection, growth, manifestation, creativity, balance, love, career. Wow. Yeah, but then you did realize how many things it meant. If you never pointed that out, bro, I probably wouldn't even gone on there and then looked it up. So you actually made me think a lot today, you know, like, yeah, that's amazing, man. It says something about angel as well. The angel number, 3-3, is symbolic. It says it's a very powerful number in numerology. Wow, mad. Mad what you learn sometimes. I do see numbers. It's funny because we was talking about numbers, wasn't we? I brought it up and I said about you know, you can when I was saying, sorry, I'm just doing something. When I was saying that you could, well, I said that you had four, we was five, and we was talking about the money, you know, like lotteries and all that. Look at what it led to. It's funny, isn't it? When you talk to some people, a conversation can lead to one thing to another. Oh, really? You're the second person I met like that. I think we had that conversation before, and I said to you, yeah, I met someone else like that. Yeah, that's serious, isn't it? Being born on that day. It's a lot of power, isn't it? Halloween, man. Damn. Hey, you might be like, what's his name? Is Michael Myers. Don't tell me you're Michael Myers, bro. Don't tell me you wear the boiler suit. No, you don't. You're a chef. Yeah. It's strange, you know, because whenever I see anyone like put on that boiler suit and that bloody um, mask he had, it's like anybody could really look like him. And when you watch the film, you think no one could look like that man. But then you think, well, he did have on a bloody mask, innit? Then, oh, I saw someone on the internet though. They got the Freddy Krueger mask. Yeah, it is so good. The mask they got out now, you could literally, you could make your own movie with it. I see somebody with them. This mask blew me away. It was I like that movie. What's it called again? I always watch it as well. You know the one with that guy with the weird face, man. Oh my god, what is his name? What's the movie called? I can't remember. My memory's just got so much stuff in there now. I can't even remember the movies. But he's a creepy. I think he flies as well. Trying to think of that now. He's got like a white little. He's got a white ponytail. He looks like an alien. Oh, the Michael Myers one. You know why I'm so annoyed? Because I watched that. That's one of my favorite horror films. It's not really a horror film actually. It's more a comedy because it's like a comedy kind of horror because that man, he's like, he smells fear. So if you've got fear, it's like he's more come after you quicker. Yeah, I was just watching. It's been going for years that movie though. Oh, the Freddy Krueger one is sick. Yeah, definitely. That's what I was trying to tell you about this one. It looks just as good. Jeeper Creepers. That's it, bro. You're good, man. I was right there in the edge of my mind, but couldn't get there today. But you helped me, man. You knew it was that guy, innit? Yes, when I described it. Yep. He is sick. But I seen the mask. It's pretty good. Couldn't believe it. That's what I was trying to say. The mask that they got out there right now. I don't know how much money you have to pay, but they're top notch. Maybe it's China, innit? But the masks are like the Jeeper Creepers one almost looks like the movie. And the Freddy one, Bloody hell, yeah, I thought it was Freddy. I was back on Nightmare on Elm Street there for a second, and this guy is a big streamer. I don't know how many people use that mask because you wouldn't know. I wouldn't know something like that, but I mean, I've never seen the Jeeper Creeper one before. That one was sick. I think, to be honest, yeah, the Jeeper Creeper one is sicker than the Freddy one because it really looks. I mean, the Freddy one looks like Freddy, but there's something about that Jeeper Creeper's face, man. To get that face, like the movie, wow. I might even Google that shit. No, I want it. I don't want it. I wouldn't want a mask like that. No, I'm more into what I would like to do one day, like cartoons and stuff like that, and yeah, silicone in it. They are good though. I reckon they come from China. I'm gonna look for the Jeeper Creepers one first. You can get the mask and the hat. Wow. Wow, it's only that much money. Shit, that's a joke, man. Wow, the one with the hair is really good. You get it for like £85, 155. Wow, you can get the hair and the. Oh, that looks really good, man. Bro, 355. If you want the full look with the like the skin, you know, like the neck. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. The neck and the shirt. Wow, that's really good. You can get some basic ones like £12. That one's rubbish though, compared to the other one. But that one for like 325, sick. Not gonna lie, it looks real. And even the £85 one is not bad. I reckon you could probably get the full suit. Let's look at the Freddy one. So imagine people are getting rich for investing £100 and £300 and all that. Freddy Krueger mask. Ooh, the Freddy one's not cheap. About. That's the foxes making noise. 200. The one for £18 don't look that good. Oh, it's not bad. Not bad at all. Well, I just can't believe it. Yeah, just having a look, man. I've had a look at them before. Like that one, I'm telling you though, the one from what's that movie called again? Jeeper Creepers. I swear Jeeper Creepers went up to about 5. Part 5. I was just watching one recently they made in about 222. That one was quite good. Yeah, man. Anyway, bro, been good catching up with you, man. I really enjoyed that conversation with you tonight. And hopefully I'll be on at the weekend or something like that. And yeah, man, look after your family, bro. We'll talk again. Well, yeah, I must go to bed now. But I hope you have a good day tomorrow, bro. Look after your family and everything, man. And we'll speak again soon. Alright, bro? Take care of yourself.